It all started with a tweet and ended with somewhat of a whimper. Perhaps that'll be the future title of Tesla CEO Elon Musk's best-selling memoir after he declared his intention to take the company private at $420 a share back on August 7th and took his stock down with it. And it followed with a fraud charge by the SEC. Fast forward to right now, the stock is up nearly 17% today. The electric car visionary stepping down as Tesla chairman. He keeps the CEO job. He settled with the SEC over fraud charges. But while the former chairman gears up to pay a $20 million fine, kind of tiny, he's worth billions. Keep in mind, folks, that at this hour, Musk's removal of chairman is still subject to court approval, so it hasn't technically occurred yet. While you were all on your smartphones trolling the Twitter feeds over the weekend, our next guest was already ahead of the curve and was the first to break the story. You probably read it. Joining us live, the Wall Street Journal's automotive and tech guru, Wall Street Journal reporter Tim Higgins. Start off, and I usually like to just go forward, but I want to hear some of the backstory of Saturday, because I was at the Global Citizen Concert. I look up, I said, oh, my, he settled. Here he had said he would not settle, and then it looked like he settled. Give us a window into those last-minute negotiations between Musk, his lawyer, and the SEC, and what you've been able to cobble together.
Yeah, really surprising, right? I mean, on Friday, it looked like he was gearing up for a big fight. He'd hired a new lawyer, and people that I talked to who were familiar with his thinking were really saying he thought he could beat this in a court of law. You turn around on Saturday and boom, you've got a deal. Well, we reported that his lawyers basically, after they rejected that initial deal on Thursday, started to talk with the SEC again, tried to bring Elon back to the table. One of the people that I talked to who were close to the situation said that Elon realized that settling was just going to be best for the company, best for shareholders, and best for himself. And hence, we got that surprise deal on Saturday.
I can't believe he didn't see that right off the bat. I mean, they were giving him a pretty sweet offer. I suppose he didn't want to lose control. But in the end, most companies are moving toward splitting up the chairman and CEO jobs. Very few of them. And J.P. Morgan went through this battle, although Jamie Dimon won, to keep the chairman and CEO as the same person. Who are you hearing? Now we spin it forward. Might be Elon Musk's boss. Who is the board talking about as a potential person here?
Well, that's the thing. Investors were asked on this question earlier this year, and they rejected the idea of splitting that. So they kind of liked the idea of the two in one kind of approach. But nevertheless, here's the deal. Investors that I'm talking to now are hoping that the board will go to an outside person and bring an outside chairman, really to send a message that this is a new way of doing things, a new oversight.
Just any outside person. This company needs a logistics in assembly line expertise, somebody who's either worked in the auto industry or Alan Mulally, formerly of Boeing and, of course, ran Ford, is one of those perfect candidates. I don't know if he wants to get back into the game, but somebody who understands what it means to hit targets on time and to turn things profitable.
Exactly. Manufacturing, auto manufacturing. Another thing that the company needs is expertise in human resources management. There's been a lot of issues at that in the last year, really managing large people. This is a part in time when the company is going from essentially being a startup to a real company, and you see these tensions in Silicon Valley companies traditionally where there's growing pains, and it's time to bring in perhaps somebody who can help Elon develop into that kind of big company leader.
Do you think that his tweets will be checked before they go out? Is that going to be a new rule, or is this board still enamored with Elon Musk and will let him do what he wants to do? There have been some cries about the board saying that they have been derelict in their duties of at least putting a lid on some of his urges to do things that might not be great for the company, although his creativity is something you never want to make sure you cap.
Well, that's been the challenge for the board. A lot of the board members have been longtime Elon backers. Part of that settlement with the SEC, including his brother, including some of his longtime investors there. But the SEC, part of this settlement, says the Tesla has to start overseeing his tweets, his communications on anything that might be material. So Elon Musk is going to learn what it's like to have an editor and the joys of going through the editing process, apparently. There's
a sword of Damocles with a big dollar sign over the company's head. Come March, we know that there's about a $920 million quarter of a point convertible note here that they have to come due on, and they need that in liquid cash. Do they have it? Will they hit that target? I need you to predict.
Well, that's a key issue here. Now, if their stock is trading at a certain rate, they can convert that. But right now, it's not there.
It's got to be at $326 a share.
Exactly. So today and tomorrow and the next day, we're going to see the production results for the third quarter. This is a key figure. Elon Musk has promised that he can keep the rate of production at a steady clip, that he can start generating cash and turn a profit this quarter and in the fourth quarter. Those are the sorts of things he needs to do in order to pay off that note. Analysts even say he's probably going to need to take out more money, though he is adamant in saying he doesn't need to do that, that he wants to pay down his debt with the cash being generated from that Model 3.
Yeah, stock's at about 310. He's got a ways to go. Good to see you, Tim. Keep breaking that news and coming on Fox Business. Thank you.